big boobs. You may have noticed. They're 9 inches in diameter, and they stick out 4 inches from my chest. It wasn't always like that. There was a time when I was a prepubescent and I was flat-chested and I played a lot of soccer. And then my dad got transferred to Mobile, Alabama. And I wasn't worried about making new friends or, I don't know, going to a new school. I was more worried about playing soccer. And because Mobile was a football town and they didn't have a lot of soccer, and they certainly did not have it for girls. Somehow I got myself on a boys team, which sounds awesome, except 2 things. Number 1, boys in Mobile hated girls on their team. Number 2, my boobs started growing so big and so fast that it totally rendered my soccer game absolutely obsolete. It was so bad. All the boys on both teams would be staring at me in these flashbacks running down the field, and my game just went choo. I was 13 years old, and I suddenly felt like my body was a prison. Let's talk about Jeff Sessions, though. Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III. Doesn't that just roll off the tongue? See, it sounds like good bourbon and seersucker suits on a hot summer night. Cronyism and backroom deals, endorsement of chain gangs, obstructing the rights of African Americans to vote, trying to make America great again if you define great as homophobic, xenophobic, sexist, racist, classist, and flat out wrong. Back to my boobs. So, it is recommended that women get mammograms once a year starting at the age of 40. I had to start at 35. They're so big, my doctor said, we gotta get a baseline and like stat. Ladies, some of you in this room already know what a mammogram is like. The rest of you will know one day, I hope, provided we still have access to health care. Gentlemen, really, I love y'all, and I really apologize for what I'm about to do. Can y'all just play along? Think of a soft tissue body part, say your ear or your nose or...
No!
Here's what a mammogram is like, all right? You are taken into a room, and it has a big mammogram machine, and you have this robe on, and it's open to the front, and then there's a technician. And the technician says, would you just remove one arm, and then you're like half naked, one boob out and the other one, you know, very, very daintily covered. And then the technician says, don't help me. Now you may be wondering what she means by don't help me. Oh, I know who's had a mammogram by the laughter. What she says is, I'm going to lift your boob up and I'm going to put it on this plate. So no, a total stranger is touching your boob and moving it, and I do not mean some hot guy you just picked up at somebody's wedding. I mean a total creepy flat. So it's combobulated. Total stranger and her cold hands, and it's really cold and there's metal, all right? I am not done. She then presses a lever, all right? And so remember those 9 inches of diameter? 4 inches out? That gets flattened. I'm not done yet. She goes over there to the other side of the room where the radiation can't get her, and she presses another button, and she flattens that stuff down to a pancake. You want to know what that feels like? It feels like... And then she says, don't breathe. Because if you breathe, it messes up the image. And if it messes up the image, you have to start all over again. All right, mammograms are important. I totally approve. Get them every year. I've had like 13 of them. I'm still alive. But they are a prison. All right, let's get back to Jeff Sessions. I know y'all are ready to get back to that. So Jeff Sessions put the father of a girl I went to high school with in prison. I did not understand this back in the day. I only connected the dots this year, but it went something along the lines of this. Sessions was appointed U.S. Attorney for Alabama's Southern District after helping Ronald Reagan win Alabama in the 1980 election. By many accounts, he then investigated, intimidated, prosecuted, and put in prison political opponents perceived as threats to Republicans running for local and state office. There is talk, y'all, of Jeff Sessions working off a hit list as if he were like Joey Soprano. No lie. Gary Greeno, the father of the girl I went to high school with, must have been on that list. He had been mayor of Mobile and was city commissioner when Sessions ran him up the river on flimsy embezzlement charges. Greeno served 5 years on a 25-year sentence and to this day maintains his innocence. All right, I lost my page. Where'd it go? I'm not going to say the daughter's name. She is not the public figure here, but I'm going to tell you that she was an incredibly sweet, nice, and funny girl. And we were on the yearbook staff together, and I worked with her every day. And every day I was like, how does she come to school? Mobile was such a big football town and status town, and her family had gone from top to low. And this girl came to school every day with a smile on her face and kindness and kind words, and I have never seen such grace under what must have been the most terrifically awful situation. So my dislike for Jeff Sessions got personal. And my heart leapt last week when Kamala Harris started quizzing James Comey about Sessions' action, and I was like, dear Lord, if a woman of color puts Jeff Sessions in prison, God does exist. That being said, I'm not convinced that the arc of justice bends over in his direction. He is so powerful. He has so many people on his side. We may have to wait for God to take care of this in the afterlife, but in the meantime, y'all, just think of Jeff Sessions and a mammogram machine and that lever coming down and a vice, and you just think, ah! Don't breathe, Jeff Sessions. Ah! Prison.